Streets hum loud with a broken beat, yeah. Whispers crawl where the liars meet, yeah. The truth's a shadow hiding in plain sight. They sell us mirrors, but no one's right.
Who holds the pen that rewrites the lines? Who builds the walls and calls them divine? Burn the flags, burn the flags. They don't care what you have. Raise your voice or take your stand. The power's yours, don't let it pass.
Marching forward but stuck in reverse. Echoes scream but they don't rehearse. Fingers point but the mirrors crack. Both sides cheat while the people lack.
Who feeds the fire? Who strikes the spark? Who paints the light? Who shapes the dark?
Burn the flags, burn the flags. They don't care what you have.
Raise your voice or take your stand. The power's yours, don't let it pass.
Hey, burn, burn, burn.
Burn the flags, they don't care what you have. Raise your voice or take your stand. The power's yours, don't let it pass.
The music is over and the show begins. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Tyler Today Live. We're going to be talking about a lot of things today. Most importantly being, of course, I'm sure as all of you already know, as this happened yesterday, a lot of people did shows about it yesterday as well. I, of course, waited till Monday, made sure we have a little bit more information and stuff. Wrong mic for sure. Wrong mic? Let's see. No, it's not the wrong mic. You sure? Sounds like ass. Hang on. Shouldn't. Blah, 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 blah. How does that sound? Does that sound better? The audio looks different. That should be better. Hopefully. Maybe. Melted, let me know. That should sound better. Anywho, we're going to be talking about the death of Senator Lindsey Graham, of course, because that is the biggest news that happened over the weekend. I'm not sure if there's any other news. I poured a lot of my time researching the Lindsey Graham stuff. Make sure it's plugged in all the way. It is plugged in all the way. Plugged in all the way. What do I sound like? Can I hear the wait? Blah, 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 blah? Oh. I mean, it does sound a little weird. I think it's fine. I don't know why you would be doing that. Anyway. You guys had to hear me doubled so I could hear myself for a second. That's fine. Let's see. What other news are there? Let's see. We're waiting for one of our guests to appear, so I don't want to go into the main story quite yet, not until the guest is here. You sound like you're on an old phone. I don't know why. I don't know why it would sound like that. Unless I fucked up my mic somehow. I mean, I did fuck up my mic, but it's not the audio that I fucked up. I fucked up the headphone plug-in. I didn't fuck up the mic part that plugs into my computer. Yeah, I definitely fucked up the headset part. I know that. The gain knob or something. Oh, maybe I test. Wait, here. we're gonna be messing with stuff while we wait for Joey. That's fine. All right, test. Let's see. Test. Blah blah blah. OMG, bro, it got worse. What about this? Is this better? Do. I think this is better. Okay. I think we're good. The knob must have gotten bumped or something. Yeah, because now my gain is like all the way down where it should be. It was turned up. I must have bumped it when I was moving. I was cleaning stuff yesterday. Thank you, Melted. I appreciate it. Usually I don't find that stuff out until like way later in the stream. So the earlier the better. Thank you. Anyway, is there any other news? Does anyone know about any other news besides what happened with Lindsey Graham? Because the only other news that I've seen is that Iran is threatening to assassinate Donald Trump, which maybe they do, maybe they don't. I don't know. They could try, I guess, but I don't think it'd be a good idea. We just implemented what is it? We're going to be taking a toll for the Strait of Hormuz. Turn down the volume, you're peaking it. Turn it, what volume? Blah, 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 blah. Peaking, peak. I don't know. I don't know how audio works. I need Joey. I don't know how any of this audio shit works. KK, good. Thank you, Melted. Getting quick tips in the chat here. Rebel with no yell. Oh, wait. Hang on a second. We don't have the chat. We don't have the chat right here? Oh, why don't I have the chat? Oh, hang on. We gotta get the chat. Let's see. I found out that Rumble Studio actually has their own chat that you could pop out. And it's way better than the like bots and stuff we were using because it actually shows my YouTube comments as well. Okay, there. Now, any new comments you guys put should appear on screen. There we go. I got my little cat emoji in the top left there. We'll get it. We'll get some stabbing bears, dancing raccoon, dancing ditto. Okay, there we go. Just to show you guys that it appears now. It's up here in the up here in the corner. Wait, over here. Here? Here. It's over here in the corner. Anyway, where's Mr. Knoll? The Joe of Knoll. I would like to know where he is. That's fine. So, yeah, I thought this was interesting. We'll talk about this while we're waiting for Mr. Knoll. We'll talk about this. I thought this was interesting. So, apparently Iran is taking a 2% charge for safe passage through the Strait of Hormuz. And we are now continuing. We're going to reinstate the Iranian blockade. And Donald Trump has decided that, oh, you're going to charge 2%? Well, we're going to charge 20%. So we are also charging a fee to go through the Strait of Hormuz. And it's funny because it's like a freedom charge is what they're calling it. Like, oh, you want free passage through the Strait of Hormuz, so you have to pay us. Doesn't sound very free, but what do I know? Will this work? No, it's not going to work because, again, Iran controls the Strait of Hormuz. And if we're going to be charging people 20% to ship cargo through this, or your yell talk soft. I do yell. That's how I talk. You know what I need to do? We'll move the mic further away from me. Is that better? We'll put it over here. Okay, the mic's way over there now. That should be better. Anyway. So it's just funny that we're going to be charging people for going through the Strait of Hormuz. That's exactly what Iran's doing. We have a problem with them doing it, so then we're going to do it 200% more. Just find it interesting. This is not obviously not going to help prices. Yes, and get a pop filter. I do have a pop filter. The issue is, Melted, with the pop filter is I have all these other things in my room. Like I currently have 3 fans going, so it's kind of hard to filter those out without filtering myself out as well. But anyway, your peas are popping. Pop 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 pop. Well, I don't know, maybe I gotta mess with my audio settings again. I thought they were fine. I can't mess with it right now though. Anyway, so the USA will be, from this point forward, known as the guardian of the Hormuz Strait. But as such, and as a matter of fairness, we will be reimbursed at the rate of 20% on all cargo shipped for any and all costs necessary to do the job of providing safety and security to this volatile section of the world. So my question would be, is Donald Trump going to cover that 20% when the goods come over to the United States? Because obviously anything getting shipped to the United States right now that has to pass through the Strait of Hormuz, they now have to pay our government an additional 20%, so they would probably have to raise prices, right? So prices are going to go up again, and I'm just wondering if the U.S. government, being the direct cause of that, if they would give us any relief at all. Obviously, the answer is no, but just want to put that out there. So we're going to be charging an additional 20% on top of the 2% that Iran is already charging. And this will likely make prices go up even more, because that's how it works. The process and formation will begin immediately. The turmoil in the Strait comes after the American military pummeled regime forces over the weekend to restore international shipping through the critical oil choke point. U.S. Central Command CENTCOM announced late Sunday the American forces hit dozens of Iranian targets, including missile and drone capabilities, as well as small boats, coastal radar sites, and Tehran's air defense systems. A U.S. naval blockade had been imposed earlier in the conflict, but withdrew ahead of the signing of a 14-point memorandum of understanding with Iran in mid-June. So we pulled back our blockade. Blockade wasn't working, and now we're reinstating it. Let's see. Israel warned the United States of new Iranian plot to kill Trump. Well, that should be, like, very obvious. I'm sure Iran is planning to kill a lot of Americans, especially ones that are within our government, considering what we've been doing to their country. That's not a, what is it? It's not a very grandiose assumption to make. Guys, we just bombed the ever-living fuck out of Iran. They might come and try to bomb us back or assassinate. It's not very far-fetched. That document stipulated vessels transiting the Strait of Hormuz for a 60-day period would not be charged and guaranteed a safe passage, while Iranian and U.S. negotiators hashed out a final deal to conclude the conflict. The Islamic Republic of Iran will conduct dialogue with the Sultanate of Oman to define the future of the administration. Let's see. Sorry, checking my phone. And maritime services in the Strait of Hormuz, in discussion with other Persian Gulf or littoral states in line with the applicable international law and the sovereign rights of coastal states of the Strait of Hormuz. But the negotiators were never able to see eye to eye after the removal of the U.S. blockade. Well, yeah. What do we want from them? We want them to basically give us everything, and we're not going to give them shit. Of course they're not going to. Why would anyone agree to that? Mr. Cannoli cannot hear anything. Mr. Cannoli, can you hear me? Take that as a no. I'm gonna put him on anyway. You can hear from other tabs. La 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 la. Blah 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 blah. Hang on, let me try this. Let me refresh the page. Can you hear me, Joey? Okay. All right. We are joined by Mr. Joe of Knoll. Let me turn off auto gain and noise suppression. Or wait, is it noise suppression or echo cancellation? I think it's echo.
Auto gain.
Well, no, I do both.
Oh, I don't need both, but
You do need both, though.
do I? Okay.
There we go. I think you sound good
I don't
now.
need it for me.
Well, I need
For
it
when
for
I do it.
I need it for me.
Okay.
Well, hello, Mr. Joe of Knoll. We were just talking about this amazing idea that Trump had to charge 20% for passage through the Strait of Hormuz because Iran is charging 2%.
Well, maybe if Russia does it, he'll charge 200%.
Charge 200%, huh?
Just tack a zero on every time.
Jesus. Yeah, we'll just keep tacking zeros on. But I was talking about while I was waiting for you. Is the U.S. government going to reimburse any Americans for this 20% charge? Or because obviously when the oil gets here or whatever else is passing through here, they're going to have to upcharge it 20% now.
No. When we do something, it's for the federal government. That's when we say we.
It's just like it's like a hidden tax.
It's just like there's so many hidden taxes, but it's basically just like we as a country are going to get it back, and then it's like,
but it goes into the tax coffers.
No.
Yeah.
Do I get like a tax return for it? Like it should say in the tax return, like this is for the Strait of Hormuz. I want it listed, bro. It should be required to be listed.
Any gas bought after today, like you should be able to write it off on your taxes and get 20% back.
Right. It should be required.
Right. Oh, man. I just thought it was interesting. One of those stories to pull up because it is something that happened over the weekend. We basically reinstated the war with Iran. We're bombing the ever-living fuck out of them again. We're reinstating the Iranian blockade, and we're going to be charging 20% for passage through. Technically, it's 22% because Iran still gets their 2%. So
everything's okay.
Everything's
trust the plan.
Everything's great. Everything's doing fantastic.
They're great.
All right, well, let's get to the major story of today. So
the meat and potatoes?
The meat and potatoes of today. This is the major story that happened over the weekend. Lindsey Graham, he's a U.S. senator. He died abruptly over the weekend. He died Saturday night. This is the official story. I'll go through the official story first, and then I'll get to my theories behind it. The official story is that he went to Ukraine on Friday. He met with President Zelensky. He then toured a few different facilities in Ukraine before making a speech and returning home. Upon returning home, when he landed, he made a phone call with President Trump, talked about some of the things that he wanted to do this week following his visit from Ukraine. He also told Donald Trump that he thinks that we need to sanction Russia. And then around 8:23 p.m., Capitol Emergency Services were dispatched to his Capitol residence, and he was then pronounced dead at a local hospital at around 2 hours later. They're saying that the cause of death was an aortic. What was it? Aortic. It was aortic something. I forget the exact word for it. But similar to a heart attack, not quite. It has similar suffering cardiac arrest. So it looks similar to a heart attack, but it's not quite a heart attack. And that's what they're saying happened to him. They're saying that he went to Kiev, toured some facilities, came home, spoke with the president on the phone, and then died. Just a very, very abrupt. His office and people close to him were saying that apparently he wasn't feeling well. Apparently, he did.
It's a great time to fly to Ukraine.
He did plan on going to a doctor. I think it was either today or yesterday. He was supposed to go and see a doctor, but obviously he didn't make it. And it all seems very weird to me because it would not be hard to lie about any of what I just said. Very easy to lie about a flight returning from Ukraine. Very easy to lie about a phone call that Donald Trump supposedly had. And that one's a little weird, too, because we're getting multiple different, multiple different stories there. Yo, what's up? We got Jeff D from Thoughtcast in the chat. What's up, dude?
Jeff D.
Jeff
What's
D
up,
from
Jeff?
Thoughtcast.
I like his new setup. It's nice and it's pretty.
I've always liked Jeff's setup. He's got a lot of cool overlays, and like when people raid him and stuff.
His new studio looks really nice.
I was looking at that too before we went live. I went over there. I was trying to go through the chats.
You know, it's funny. Maybe you could full screen me so people can see it. But like, I finally got my Roman column in shot for my thing, and like
I don't have a full screen option.
Yeah, well, great. You don't have to do it, but just tune into my show at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to see the full screen. Granted, you got my AC cut out, so that's pretty cool. It's a battle I've been trying to fight, how to cut this fucking AC out of my shot, but there's no way to do it unless I take my little tray and like turn it this way and fucking.
Thoughtcast has raided the stream. Hell yeah! Thank you, Jeff.
Thoughtcast with the raid.
Perfect timing. So right now we're talking about the stuff with Lindsey Graham. We were just about to get into the conspiracy theories around that. So let's talk about that. So Lindsey Graham supposedly went to.
Make sure you guys hit that like button, that repost button upon the raid, though.
Yes,
do
like, repost, drop a chat. If you guys haven't chatted in the chat this month, please. I got plenty of cool emojis. You could drop a chat. If I say something you disagree with, please.
Which is often.
I often say things people disagree with. So please. Say, let me know. Hell yeah! Oh, look at all those people. Thank you guys so much. And I got the chat going up again. I don't know if you see that, Joey, but I actually found out that the chat from Rumble Studio is so much better than any of those bots we were using.
Really?
Am I the only one on YouTube? I guess you're the only one on YouTube today, Rage Flowers, but don't worry, because the Rumble Studio chat widget actually includes everyone from YouTube as well. So
you know what? I was thinking? I was thinking last night. I was thinking about also co-streaming on X because of the topics that I was going to be talking about, but I inevitably decided not to, because then I was like, well, if I'm going to include every chat, I need social stream ninja. But then now you're saying this, and I'm like, wait a minute, that might be a good idea.
The live chat that appears in Rumble Studio, it takes that whole thing. So even comments from X, Twitch, it would show all of it.
That's a good idea. You know what? I never even thought about it. And I don't think anybody who co-streams has thought about that.
Mr. Fat says YouTube is still up. Yeah, I still have YouTube up. I mean, I focus Rumble, guys. Don't get me wrong. I focus on Rumble, but I gotta have at least a presence on YouTube. Anyway, let's get into this interesting story, because I really am interested.
Though, where you been, Rage Flowers? Say hi sometime.
He said hi in the chat. He's wondering if he's the only one on YouTube. Oh. Joey's feeling left out here, Rage Flowers.
No, because he left Discord, understandably, over the bullshit that Discord was doing.
Yep.
So now we're hoping for Tom B's Dojo to show up.
Mr. Fat said to hit him up on MySpace because I'm on YouTube still.
Holy shit! Is it even possible to potentially co-stream the MySpace?
Dude, if I could stream to MySpace, I'm gonna do it for the memes now. But anyway, so. Guys, perfect timing. Thank you, Jeff, for the raid. Thank you guys so much for chatting. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Oh, is Joey on the show too? I only noticed Tyler, says Mary Jane.
Me too. His head's so much bigger than mine. At least camera angle-wise.
Anyway, so Lindsey Graham supposedly. We were just talking about this before you guys raided in. Thank you again. We were just talking about Lindsey Graham abruptly dying, supposedly of cardiac arrest, but. I've been looking into this, right? And we don't have any record of when he left or when he arrived in Ukraine. We don't have any record of when he arrived back in the United States. We are getting conflicting reports from different outlets saying there's some outlets saying that he met with Donald Trump after landing. And then there's other statements saying that he had a phone call with Donald Trump. So I'm trying to figure out which was it? Did he meet with Trump or did he have a phone call with Trump? Because if he met with Trump, harder to fake that. The guy's probably alive. But if it was just a phone call, very easy to fake a phone call. Other thing is, right, even if he did make it out of Ukraine, at the very least, it's being confirmed that the drone facility that he visited was targeted just hours after he supposedly left.
It wouldn't shock me, honestly. Like, because let's from a political standpoint, if he actually did get killed in a Russian strike on a Ukraine drone facility, it's not something that Donald Trump is actually going to want to admit.
That's not something the United States in general would want to admit.
But specifically Trump.
Yeah. So look at it this way, right? Because you don't have to make a lot of assumptions here. What is it? It's Occam's razor, right? the least amount of assumptions. Well, the least amount of assumptions would be Russia killed the guy, and then our government is just lying about it, so we don't have to go to war with Russia.
And well, not necessarily. I don't know if it's necessarily like because we basically are in a pseudo Cold War with them again. So
well, and that's why Lindsey Graham was over there, and that's why I think he could have been targeted by Russia, because literally, you look at his speech, he talks about him pushing for war with Russia, giving weapons to Ukraine, and he was also talking about getting further sanctions on Russia. The whole reason for his visit was to strengthen ties with Ukraine and to attack Russia. That was the whole point of him being there.
Jeff, if you're still in here, I'd love to know if you can surmise your thoughts on the people, I guess, idolizing Lindsey Graham now that he's dead, and they're finger wagging people who are just like, I'm not gonna celebrate him dying, but I'm not gonna cry any fucking tears. Like, this is a guy who dabbled. His business was fucking, being at war. He wanted the United States to always be at war. There were clips of him constantly calling for war, saying, oh, well, I got to send the South Carolina sons and daughters to go die for X country. Dude, I want to be able to blah, blah, blah. Like, he is like a merchant of war.
There's a clip from less than a month ago, Joey, of him saying, I'm not with Americans, I'm with Israelis.
Right. If you're not with Israel, I'm not with you. It's like,
no. I said it verbatim. I said his quote verbatim.
He said verbatim?
I'm not with Americans, I'm with Israelis. A U.S. senator said that. What the fuck?
I will not celebrate or mourn his passing. Okay, that's fair. I've just seen a lot of people just like all of a sudden like talking him up and shit. And you saw this happen when like John McCain and like Dick Cheney died too. And it's like, I'm not having that, bro. Like, I'm just not having it. Like, this guy, he lived to get the United States in war. And if he did get hit with this drone strike, then they're going to cover it up. Then he lived the way he died the way he lived.
That's what I was gonna say. That'd be just desserts right there. You call for,
but according to him though, like with him, he's probably like when if it happened that way, he's probably thinking in his final moments like, I've died a Viking's death. Like, he's probably proud of everything he's done in the final moments.
Credit where credit is due. He did vote for the president's agenda. He a little bit, right, but it doesn't make up for it. It's like saying all the stuff Marco Rubio's done in this current Trump administration makes up for all the things he's ever said or done.
It's not enough.
It's not enough.
He's, what he's doing? Lindsey Graham is like Sean Hannity. Like, he's playing a bet, and right now he's betting on Donald Trump, but he always positions himself just in case he can bounce back to the establishment. He was very good at that. So he was a Donald Trump butt sniffer, which is, if Trump's doing good things, then that's great. But, when it comes to if Donald Trump is going to get impeached, we all know where he's going to go. We all know where Lindsey Graham is going to side if he was going to still be alive post potential House being taken, potential impeachment. We know he would basically just side with the fucking Democrats. He always does. Whenever it comes to those super important things.
Whenever it comes to super important things. But I just find it interesting, and Alex Jones is actually talking about this as well. That's one of the places I first saw the theory, and Alex Jones has a lot more connections. Alex Jones is even claiming that a chief at the Pentagon, one of the top officials at the Pentagon, even is claiming that Lindsey Graham was killed by a Russian strike. And that's from Alex Jones' sources, and we all know Alex Jones has some pretty good fucking sources on things. He's typically right.
It's difficult though, because again, we're never gonna know. They'll never release if it actually happened like that. And
it's like Rage Flower said.
I suppose
it's one of those things where if they attacked one of our senators, one of our leaders, we are forced to retaliate, or we're not a legitimate nation.
Right. It is. First of all, if he wasn't feeling good, like I don't know if I buy the sudden heart attack thing, because like if you don't feel good, bro, why the fuck are you flying to Ukraine?
Yeah, why did you just fly halfway around the world?
Why would you fly to Ukraine, bro? When I don't feel, I don't even want to take the subway downtown, let alone get on a fucking plane and go to a war zone.
Alex isn't too crazy, right? No, Alex Jones isn't crazy. He's just a very entertaining character. Like Joey. Joey and I talk about this all the time. Alex Jones is exactly what Joey and I strive to be, because he not only is he great at news, but he's also entertaining. He's entertaining while he does it. When Joey and I sit here and talk about this boring shit, we need to be somewhat entertaining while we do it. You gotta be
entertaining. Listen, I've discovered, and I know people don't want to hear this, but I have discovered that people do need their bread in circuses, so why not combine the two?
Yeah, Joey said it before. Politics is my bread and circus. Might as well give you guys the fucking circus if I'm gonna give you the bread. Come on,
bro. Like I don't want to like sit there and be like, in today's news, 3 people died. Like, I mean, you just gotta make it fun. You have to, bro. Life is hard, man. This is crazy world we live in, man. You got to make that shit entertaining, because like if it's not entertaining, then people are gonna start to drift towards entertainment to get their mind off the hardships of life. So you got to mix in that little bit of entertainment in there. So people, I mean, from a show standpoint, you want people to come back, right? You want people to be entertained. And then from a mixing your news, people they don't have a lot of time on their hands. So if you can mix the two together, then why not?
So the government playbook, he says that Lindsey Graham was a good senator in the means of as a senator, he could get shit done. In the Senate, that is rare. Let's see. As for his policies, they were awful. When you look at the job of a senator and what it entails, he did a good job at it, and he was a veteran. I mean, yeah, there's good things to say about Lindsey Graham for sure, but that doesn't change that he was a terrible politician at the end of the day. Did he get things done? Yes, but they weren't always in the interest of the American people. So, like, getting shit done isn't always a good thing in politics. Because you could be getting shit done that goes against the American voters, you know? Are you not entertained? I would hope so.
Yeah, I mean, but he's basically one of those people that use political offices like as the same way that, like, you know...
so the government playbook said...
black market sort of things. Like, it was basically his game. It was part of the game.
Where did you get a source on that, the government playbook? Because I'd like to pull that up if we can. He said, I don't think that he ever made it home. The call to 911 came from a caller on the interstate that wasn't even in D.C. at the time. If we can confirm that, that just adds to the theory. I don't think he made it home.
First of all, that phone call that Trump says he had with him sounds like complete horseshit. I'm sorry. Talking like, we're gonna get that save. We gonna get that save act, Donnie. I promise you, we gonna get that. Yeah, okay.
The whole thing sounds like horseshit at the end of the day. I mean, here, let's look this up. How long would it take to get from Ukraine? How long is a flight from Ukraine to DC?
Probably like fucking the 9, 10, probably like 10 hours. That's my guess. I wouldn't know. I'm just estimating what it would take to get to like the UK, and then tacking on like 3 hours.
Trying to see how long it would take. Flight time from Kiev to Ukraine. Yeah, you're right. 10 hours. Okay, so if he left at 8 o'clock, 10 hours before that would have been 10 o'clock in the morning. Dude, I don't think he got out of Russia, or I don't think he got out of Ukraine.
Now you know what's going to happen is there's going to be conspiracy saying, I want to see the body, and then they're going to put like this fucking body and the earlobes aren't going to match, and then the conspiracy theories are really going to get driven out of control. You know, just like with the Joe Biden body double.
To answer your question, Producer K, it was absolutely a military flight. Ukraine's a war-torn country right now. If we're going to send a politician over there, we have to use military. So that is one of the reasons that we don't have the detailed flight logs, because they're not going to publicly post that. But let's put it this way, right? He supposedly came back Saturday night. He came back Saturday night is what they claim. And Russia initiated a massive, you could see it reported all over the place. We have the story, one of the stories up right now, massive missile attack and drone attack against Ukraine, targeting drone production facilities like the one Lindsey Graham was visiting. And they're claiming it was hours after his visit. I don't think that, though, because if it was hours after his visit, Joey, that would have been in the middle of the day. They don't do attacks in the middle of the day. They do them early morning or the evening.
Yeah, I think it's like I said, we'll never know, but I think honestly, I think it's a good chance that he most likely got hit. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, how many times has the United States taken somebody out in that same fashion? It seems like this one might be a likely outcome. I mean, all the politicians that go over there, and if you're Russia and you're like, Mr. Putin, we can. Lindsey Graham's there. Should we attack? Like, Vladimir Putin's probably smart enough to know that the average like conservative doesn't care about Lindsey Graham anymore. So like, it's sort of like this is the type of attack that's perfect for Russia to do without any retaliation, because there's not really any sympathetical favorability for Lindsey Graham.
Not just that though, Joey, and what you just made me think of, and this is something that I've been concerned about and I've been calling out. I'm actually legitimately worried about the trajectory that we're on right now, especially when it relates to Iran, because if this is true, if it's true that Russia did kill one of our senators, that means we're at a point now where Russia, one of our greatest adversaries, does not fear retaliation.
Yeah, I don't know how I'm going to say this, but like I have been having this feeling that Donald Trump might be perceived as a paper tiger, which is, I think, the main reason why he did the Nicolas Maduro kidnapping, to show that he's not a paper tiger. But I feel like in this instance, I think people know that Trump is going to default on defending Ukraine. He's going to default on defending Israel. And I think other countries realize this, and then it allows them to have sort of like a set rules of maneuverability now. Because like, if these two things are always going to be true, then we can do X, Y, and Z now. And so I think Russia's getting a little more brazen now.
Well, and then we're also falling into this trap where, you remember during World War II, we had a saying, loose lips sink ships, right? Well, right now, we live in a day and age where the American population is very open and public about everything going on, to the point where we openly tell the world that we're running through our stockpiles of missiles. So we're just openly telling the world, hey guys, we're running through our stockpiles of ammunition, oil and gas, missiles. We're running through it, guys. And guess what? We can't make any of that shit. We can't make any of it. We got to go buy it from other people and take months for it to get here.
Yeah, we've outsourced our industries.
Sees that shit.
We've outsourced our manufacturing industries to other countries. We openly admit this shit too, apparently, because that's a smart idea.
It just makes us look weaker and weaker and weaker, and our adversaries see this shit, and they're like, we keep calling China a paper tiger. Who the fuck's the paper tiger when war starts and they cut off all our production?
I think our politicians just love talking so fucking much. I think they just, because they see themselves they see themselves as celebrities. They just love talking to the media, and I think all of them say too much to the media, and that's all probably by I hate to say like everything is like some grand design, but you got to understand part of the grand design is to get really dumb people into fucking office so they do stupid shit like this. That's part of the grand design. It sounds like I'm talking like about some like religious like philosophy in the medieval times. Grand design, intelligent design. It's too complex.
Lindsey
for
Graham
there to not be a god.
Lindsey Graham getting targeted by Russia makes just so much sense though, because like like you said, what makes more sense? Going on a foreign visit, talking about bombing the other country and sanctioning them and all this stuff, ramping up war from our end, talking about all that, coming home, having a conversation with the president, and then having a heart attack a few hours later. What's more likely? That he went to a war-torn country, advocated for that country to ramp up the war, then getting bombed by the other country he's wanting to ramp it up with? Like, what makes more sense here? It makes a lot more sense that the country he's targeting bombed him while he was in the vicinity.
I hate to use the term poetic. It's very poetic, but it's sort of, in some strange way, is.
It's at the very least ironic, right? It's a very ironic thing to happen. And let me say this, right? Because I see that we have a lot of people in the chat saying that the theory makes sense. While the theory does make sense, we don't have any like legit evidence other than, like it's like secondary evidence, right? It's not primary evidence. And what I mean by secondary evidence is that there's evidence that supports the theory, but there's not evidence that proves the theory. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Now, someone's saying he could have just died of a heart attack. It's true, but the reason why we're questioning it is because of the timeline of things. So he went over to Ukraine, and then the same facility he was at gets bombed, and then he had this phone call with Donald Trump, and then had a heart attack.
And then he dies the same day that he visited the facility.
And in the context of this said phone call, kind of sounds like it sounds like Donald Trump made it up.
Political
sir, we need you to make. Yeah, sir, we need you to make up a phone call you had with Lindsey Graham so people don't believe he got killed in a drone strike, because we are not ready for fucking. Because if it happened like that, where Russia killed Lindsey Graham, then it almost like we have to get into World War III now. We literally have to.
Hot conflict would have to be initiated, and we're already straining our resources with Iran.
I tell you what, bro, y'all better enjoy paying $7 for gas if you get in World War III.
It has to be questioned, no doubt. Something feels off about the whole thing. And that's all I'm saying, Producer K. Maybe at the end of the day, life really is sometimes that simple. Sometimes it really is just, he's an old man. He's approaching his 80s, or he's in his early 80s. He had a heart attack. That's kind of typical, right?
I agree with what the government says. He says, I personally think Russia did it, and they're covering it up because they don't want the smoke.
Right.
I don't. Yeah. Donald Trump, this administration could not potentially handle from its base, just its base alone. No $7 a gallon here. I don't live in any of those states. Well, I'm saying if we start World War III, bro, it doesn't matter if you live in one of those states. He wasn't 80. He was only 71. Yeah, but I agree with the sense that, he probably, is it possible? Could it be possible that maybe he was in the process of getting out while an attack was happening, and then as he was leaving, he had a heart attack because he finally saw the destruction that he helped
that's possible too.
Firsthand?
That's another good theory.
Is that possible?
Maybe he had the fucking heart attack on the plane right out of there.
My God, what have I done? Am I a monster? Am I truly a monster?
Yeah, he saw war firsthand and was like, "Oh God, that's what I'm doing."
Yeah, this motherfucker probably never been in a fight before, unless it's with his,
a veteran,
gay sex partners. I don't give a fuck. If he was actually in combat, then maybe I'd take that theory back. But
I'm looking it up right now.
But if you've never seen fucking actual combat, but even then, you could be in combat, but maybe not necessarily, because he's old, so maybe his combat was very different than Operation Iraqi Freedom combat. You know what I mean?
No, Lindsey Graham was never in combat.
There you go. So he's one of those fucking politicians that lobbies for wars constantly.
He was in the military for 33 years. He was in the Air Force, the Air National Guard, and the Air Force Reserve. Let's see.
Okay. Did he actually do any shit, or was he just like a pencil pusher?
His duties involved briefly piloting on the laws of war. His duties involved briefing pilots on the laws of war and preparing legal documents for deploying troops. He did not deploy overseas during the conflict. So he was like a legal analyst and giving people briefings and shit.
Bach has the perfect name for it. Chair Force officer.
He was a Chair Force officer, yeah.
Oh, shit.
So Chair Force officer that tells you what to expect for war while telling you that we need to go do the war. He combated fags in the Air Force. He was a lieutenant, I think. He had 33 years in the military, which, I always thank people that go and serve for the country, even if it's not for reasons I agree with. Serving the country is always a good thing. But Lindsey Graham as a person, again, like Joey was saying earlier, I absolutely think it's disgusting when people celebrate the death of someone. I don't care if it's one of the most vile people on earth. You could be happy that they're gone and they're no longer here to ruin things, but you should not celebrate the actual death of the person. I think that's personally wrong. You could be happy that they're no longer here to make things bad, but actually celebrating that they're dead's a little weird.
I gotta be honest though, and I push back against this. I did crack one open when Dick Cheney, just the vile fucking. I'm not gonna play that game. That dude was the worst.
I know we had that conversation.
He was the fucking worst of the worst, because damn well with these fucking people who are like, oh, these same fucking people that are like, oh, you can't celebrate someone's death. They were fucking cheerleading us kidnapping the leader of a sovereign country. Like they have no actual standard for the things that you should and shouldn't cheer for. Like they're just.
Those people are inconsistent, though. I try to be as consistent as possible.
I know you do, but I'm talking about like these fucking talking heads, man.
Well, I'm a talking head now.
I'm so disappointed in fucking Phil, bro. He is such a fucking shill now. Oh my god,
Labonte.
Yeah, it's so embarrassing. He used to always push back against this shit. And now he's just fucking.
I mean, you got to get that paycheck, I guess.
Yeah, producer Kate says Dick Cheney's death made me drink a bourbon. And I'm not doing it to celebrate somebody dying. I'm doing it because like such great evil has left the earth.
Yeah, and that's fair though. But you're not popping one open because he died. Like you're kind of right, but you're doing it because great, he can't ruin things anymore. He caused so much
suffering and death, and like he was like one of the architects.
But that's what you're celebrating. You're not celebrating the death of a man. You're celebrating that man will no longer be around to advocate for terrible things.
Like fuck, and somehow like this dude. I remember Dick Cheney had like hard health problems in like 2007, and then somehow he just lives like another fucking 18 years with like 2 hearts and shit, and I'm just like. Fuck, man.
Fuck, man.
Hope I got to it.
And then, so we have this from the International Business Times. International Business Times, by the way, and this is another reason I think that this is being covered up by our government, because when I go and look this up, none of the American outlets are reporting on this. Only International Business Times reported on the drone factory Lindsey Graham visited getting fucking bombed by Russia. None other outlet. I was doing a ton of research last night. No other fucking outlet. You can go ask Grok right now. Hey, Grok, what American outlets have reported on this? The only one that'll pull up is International Business Times. Because everyone else is not reporting on it. They don't want to bring it up. And I think that just adds credence to that this is being covered up. Because what happens when the government wants to cover something up? They push a narrative out to all the media outlets. Mm-hmm. So what did they do? They pushed the narrative out to the media outlets. Lindsey Graham came home and he had a heart attack.
Yep, they get... You know, whenever the government doesn't know, it's like, it's always funny. There's always like, when we have these things that happen that we need answers for, like, for example, some of the things surrounding in the aftermath of the immediate aftermath of the Charlie Kirk thing, everyone was just like, why did this happen? Why did this happen? Fucking radio silence from the government. But when they need to get a narrative out real quickly, when they have the ability to do so, because we have to trust their word, basically, because we're not going to be able to go over there and confirm anything that actually happened, they do shit like this. Lindsey Graham died immediately when he hung up the phone. He was just so excited to speak to your president.
And you know what's funny? I haven't been able to confirm it, so please take this with a grain of salt, everybody. What I'm about to say, grain of salt. In my research, I did see that apparently there have been some Russian officials hearing about the conspiracy that Lindsey Graham was assassinated by them, and they're saying, "How do you know it wasn't Israel?"
How you know? Very smart. Those Russian biters are. How you know it's not Israel?
How do you know it's not Israel? Maybe Israel bombed Kiev.
Yeah, the government says I cheer when we killed Bin Laden. Well, I don't. We can have a whole debate about that. I'm not sure if I actually believe they got Osama bin Laden. Then I think that was, if it was bin Laden, it was another bin Laden. That's how I see it. Because like, I find it very hard to believe that bin Laden didn't die in 2001 of kidney failure. I just find it very hard to believe. But maybe I'm wrong about it. Maybe I'm wrong about it.
I probably shouldn't need to add this, but I'll add it just as a caveat for anyone, just in case. If someone is a vile human being, murder, pedophilia, rape, things like that, and they get put to death, I will celebrate that. Only if, like, it's confirmed without a shadow of a doubt they did these things, then I'd celebrate it. Because there's no way, like, let's say a Stalin or a Hitler type figure in the modern era dies. Like, there's no way I'm gonna sit here and be like, guys, don't celebrate that.
Exactly.
Don't celebrate that. Like, no, I'm not gonna say that.
Yeah, but I can't wait in 10 years when Vladimir Putin or whenever the fuck he dies to see who's going to be celebrating that shit, because then I'm just going to be like showing them their tweets, be like, oh, I thought celebrating. Oh, but he was a vile person. Oh, okay. So now it matters. So you know what the difference between these, I'll use the woke right thing and the woke left. The difference between the two is literally just the lines of separation between when they let their feelings get involved in something.
Yeah. And, you know, I think a lot of people let their feelings cloud their judgment and things, though, just in general. Because you bring this up when it comes to just politics in general, because you've mentioned to me plenty of times that almost everybody makes a decision based on how they feel, not based on what evidence is provided to them. And it's unfortunate that that's the case, because you look at things that people vote on, and then you try to convince them otherwise, and they talk about how they feel about it, not what they know about it. Like when it comes to the stuff with Trump, they feel like he's making the country better. They feel like he's doing all the things that he said he would do. But if you've sat down and look at his record, he's missing the mark on a lot of these things. But you try to tell someone who's still a very staunch Trump supporter that, and they immediately shut down and argue to the contrary. But it's like, dude, I'm just trying to have a civil conversation. I care very much about where this country's going, and I think Donald Trump's falling short in these areas. We need to hold his feet to the fire. I
think it's interesting, though, because I think that one of the issues Trump had in his first term, and one of the issues he has in this term is when he puts somebody into a position, he trusts them unequivocally. And in some ways, that's a good thing. But you see, in ways like this, it could be a bad thing. It could be a bad thing because sometimes he'll get these guys that just give him false information. And because he trusts the people that he put in, because that makes sense for him to want to trust people that he's put in.
And that happened in the first term.
Yeah, that happened in the first term, but it happened here. And I think it happened with this war. And I think it's hard to find an off-ramp now. And, you know, he's desperately looking for a good off-ramp because whether it should or it shouldn't, it's going to hurt the base. The base is not... You can't campaign on not starting new wars and then not immediately, but like within a year's time, start a new war and say, but this is the righteous war, when the way you present the war, it literally looks the same as the other wars that we were told were bad to do. And like Donald Trump has called out Lindsey Graham specifically for being, in 2019, he did this, a proponent of the forever wars. So, you know, Donald Trump was convinced by people who trust that this is the right war, this is a righteous war, and we can have it done quickly. He was led astray, most likely by the Israeli intelligence agencies too, in regards to that, which is, you know, great because now we're going to fuse our military. He literally went on Fox News today. I think it was Fox News that Netanyahu was on. Might have been last night. And they asked him about the the merging of the militaries, and he explained why it's a good idea. So, like, it's not like some conspiracy theory that's happening. So I think we've clearly been led astray by another foreign country that does not align with our goals. Maybe at some point there was some sort of crossover, but I'm telling you right now that it's really not.
And you know, I wanted to actually bring that up because that is a very important story that I'm going to continue to bring up probably every show until it gets solved. We have this from Thomas Massey. Thomas Massey's been trying to get this removed. Rules Committee meets Monday night and will decide if our amendment to strip Section 219. By the way, they because people were getting onto this, Joey, they've already changed the section of the NDAA where it could be found. It was Section, I believe, 242, and now they've moved it to Section 219. And what this would do would be the merging of U.S. military tech and supply chains with Israel's. Literally, guys, imagine this. Our military-industrial complex. Everyone loves the military-industrial complex, right? Great thing. Not. Beautiful. Our military-industrial complex merging with Israel's military-industrial complex. That is literally what is about to happen should this pass. And they're just being all hush-hush about it. Oh, let's not make it too public. Fuck you. Why the fuck would we do that? So if they don't let our amendment get a vote, I will vote against their rule. So Thomas Massey is planning on voting against the NDAA, and of course he's going to get attacked for doing that because it's going to have very good things in it. It's going to have great things for our military in it, and they're going to use that to be like, look, Thomas Massey's voting against this. And it's like, no, he's voting against this specific rule that would give Israel access to our entire military industrial complex.
Do you remember how people are getting fatigued about the establishment hijacking patriotism in the military to basically push the forever wars? I mean, it's like the same fucking playbook. And, you know, I get that Donald Trump is not quite 100% the same as an establishment president, so perhaps things would be slightly different. But if there are neocons and forever war advocates that have made his way into his administration, like I said, one of his shortcomings is he trusts the people that are, if you are in a position of power that he put you in, he trusts you until he fires you. But until then, he trusts you. So you saw it in the first administration. Like like some of the military guys quite literally hold information from him. Like, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, he was telling them.
Of course, nobody's been punished for that. But
he was telling them to withdraw troops in his first term, and it took them months to actually do it because they were just lying to him.
It. Yeah, that's fucking nuts, dude. That's crazy.
That's treason.
It's literally treason.
You're going actively against the commanding officer's orders and keeping troops in an area that is occupied.
So I get that he's the president, and like he quite literally can't just check every because, you know, he's got the people that will curate a news feed for him, essentially, which is, as you can see, largely comprised of mainstream, unless it's like Glenn Beck or something, but it's largely mainstream sources. It's largely Fox News, and you see Axios in there now. He still goes on 60 Minutes and complains whenever they edit footage. So, like, I get that he's there's multiple angles here, and there's multiple things he has to consider and look at. So I'm not completely like in the he's been hijacked 100% by the globalist sort of thing, but he's in catch-22 positions where he's trying to find the best of the possible outcomes he can do, and there's just no good outcomes now. There's no way we can have a good outcome from this. We're at a solution where basically, what is the only thing that can be done right now with this Iran thing to make it like, are we going to start advocating for like wiping out countries? Like, because once you start to go down that dark path, man, that's when that pendulum swings and you become the bad guy. Like, there has to be some sort of off ramp, and I just don't know if we're going to be able to. And I don't know if the country the size of New Jersey in the Middle East is going to let us. It might actually be smaller than New Jersey. Might be Rhode Island.
You and I have talked about this. There's no going back from this. Like, you give them access to all these things. There's no going over there and taking it off their computers. Like, that you just, there's literally impossible. It's a saying for a reason. What goes on the internet stays on the internet forever. That's like 99% true, because most things that get put on the internet will never be removed from the internet. And just like that, you give a government intelligence agency access to something, there's no way in fuck they'll ever give it back.
Mm-hmm.
Why would they ever give it back?
Because if you give them like the grandma's Donald Trump was too, though. So if there truly is something we got to worry about with heart problems for, well, Donald Trump is fat and vaccinated as well. So hopefully nothing happens to him in that front, because I guarantee you this: if Donald Trump dies of a heart attack, ain't nobody believing he died of a heart attack.
No, especially not when Iran is claiming they're trying to assassinate him.
Yeah, right. And you don't think, like, for example, let's say Donald Trump does, God forbid, die of a heart attack.
The government playbook said what we don't know is he actually had a heart attack right before the drone struck.
Now that would be poetic as well.
I like that theory. That's a good theory. So then the government's not really lying. They're just lying about the location where it happened.
Yeah. So if Donald Trump died of a heart attack, I guarantee you those fucking, all of a sudden, you know what they would do? Let me tell you exactly what would happen if Donald Trump died of a heart attack. Let's say Donald Trump dies of a heart attack in fucking October or some shit. You know what they're going to say? You know what they're going to do? The fucking mainstream media, like clockwork, is going to flip. They're going to idolize Donald Trump. They're going to talk about how much of a great man he was, and they're going to say that Iran poisoned him, and they're going to use the rah-rah war cry to get all these fucking conservatives that are on the fence or looking for greener pastures or very demoralized, they're going to rally those motherfuckers for war with Iran, and it's going to work if that happens. I guarantee you that's what they're going to do. But I don't think that's going to happen. Donald Trump has always been historically he's been very cautious about the reason why he has fast food is because he can watch it get made in front of him.
Joey, if he dies of a heart attack in October, I'm blaming you.
You
guys hear that buzzing?
I said God forbid, though, so that means it doesn't count.
God forbid.
The famous last words. Do you guys hear that buzzing? Do you guys smell toast? Does anybody smell toast? Just me. Tell Don Jr. don't run. Final words.
They'll attack.
Kai Trump, you're the future's yours.
Is there anything else to talk about?
Did I knock on wood? Oh shit! Do I have any wood? My floor is wood. Wait, this is wood.
I have a desk.
Okay. My cat thinks that someone knocked at the door. No, it's okay. Don't worry about it. It's cool, dog.
Your cat's a
dog? Go back
to
sleep. Yeah, I called him dog, like, friend. Go back to sleep. He's probably wondering why I knocked on wood. He thinks it's probably the door. It's okay. Lay down. It's all right.
I'm seeing what other stories we have for the day, because
Mitch McConnell's alive, apparently.
Mitch McConnell is supposedly alive.
It's like what I put on my sign. Anyone who's played Final Fantasy VII before, I put it on my little sign. I put Lindsey Graham cast Final Attack Life 2 on Mitch McConnell. That means in his dying breath, he transferred his life essence over to Mitch McConnell, and it resurrected him from his coma that he was in from simply falling, by the way. That's what Mitch McConnell supposedly said. Nothing happened. I just fell. Oh, okay. There was radio silence for 2 weeks because he just fell.
That was just his medically induced coma. It's okay.
I believe that like I fucking believe Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone.
You like this title right here, Joey? In other news, Elliot Page, mentally ill Elliot Page, claims that animals can be LGBTQ. Boy. As Christopher Nolan says, Page makes a great Greek warrior.
Oh my god!
Oh yeah, did you see this? That
wait, you're on YouTube, right?
We are on YouTube, but you can say
I
whatever.
Won't say what I'm thinking.
You can say whatever you want.
I won't do that to you.
I've been saying the F word on YouTube. I don't care. But Christopher Nolan's upcoming adaptation of The Odyssey is facing mounting backlash over a series of casting decisions, with much of the criticism centered on transgender actor Elliot Page portraying the Greek warrior Sinan. Despite this, Nolan has dismissed the backlash.
That's his great Greek name, Nolan.
Yeah, Nolan. He has no lawn, guys. Anyway, saying that the part is great for Paige. This comes as the transgender actress has also claimed that animals can be LGBTQ too. What?
Wow. You know what? Actually, I gotta say, when it comes to the fucking liberal wine moms, once you start attacking the animals, that might be when they start to fucking realize how retarded all this shit is.
Like, guys, we should be able to fuck the animals. That's when people are like, all right, they've gone too far.
Because I've noticed that people could literally watch the worst things happen to fucking humans, and then when they see it done to animals, they can't do it. So there's some sort of maybe it's because of the modern day media is trained people about the whole power balances and innocence and whatnot, but once you get these fucking people doing shit to animals, they like it unlocks like some core memories inside of them, and they realize that actually we're retarded. What are we doing? So you know what? I don't know. Do we have to push the line further? Is them wanting pedophilia not enough? Like, is this how we win? Is that when we start getting these retards talking about we can animals? Well, my cat thinks he should be a fucking girl. Well, could you imagine the cost, bro? The vet is expensive, dog.
Hey, look, the vet would be more than happy to go do these treatments.
Oh, I bet they would.
Just like all these doctors are more than happy to go fucking do all these treatments to these people. Like, dude, imagine Elliot Page's doctor. Like, Elliot Page walks into, and I will call her Elliot Page because she got a legal name change, but I will not refer to her as a he. Elliot Page. So imagine she walks in her doctor's office and she's like, I want a sex change. And her doctor's like, wealthy, famous person just walked in my office and wants to be a permanent medical patient. fuck yeah, let's do it. Like, what doctor is gonna look at them and be like, you're not a bunch of dollar signs, I'm not gonna do that to you? No, they're gonna see a bunch of dollar signs and do whatever they ask. It's fucked up. And you know,
Gilbert says, I was lurking until you said that. Veterinarians are 9,000% times more ethical than fucking doctors. You know what? Probably.
Yeah,
Probably.
I would hope that veterinarians would
I tell
hear
you
this
what,
crap and be like, no.
You know why? Because
Producer K said currently. That can change, Gilbert.
It can change based off a few decimal points. But if you become a vet, though, you're doing it basically for the love of the animals. Like, you know, people become a doctor because it's like, I'm going to make a lot of money, or maybe it's, you know, they're Indians or fucking.
Yeah, but Joey, if you don't
Asians
get this
shit,
sex change for your dog,
Jewish.
it'll kill itself.
Yeah, because you. Never in the history of the world has a dog killed himself over anything other than animals have killed themselves because of their fight or flight instincts of trying to hunt and then, you know, maybe jumping out of windows by accident. That, like, this is the type of shit that animals kill themselves on.
No, dude, my dog
Tyler's fucking dead now.
Yeah, no, my dog, he goes to lick his asshole and he sees that he has a dick and he has an existential crisis. Like,
right. You see him like. You know, like when the cats play with the blankets or whatever, like you see the cat just like grab for the rope and he's like rearranging it and so like, oh, what are you doing, Binky?
Mr. Kitty, how did you make a noose?
Yeah, how'd you do that? How'd you tie that? You don't have opposable thumbs, dog. Oh, maybe you use your claws to dig in an anchor? I don't know.
Just walk into the room in the middle of the night and your cat's scratching at its genitals. Like, what the fuck are we talking about here? Like, LGBTQ. Like, I think what they mean is probably like gay animals, but that's because they're animals. they have base instincts.
I got there is something right there though, because I tell you what, man, a non-neutered animal, they will fuck anything, bro. They will fuck anything.
Dude,
they will fuck inanimate objects.
my little friend, our little Frenchie that we have in the house, he just gets overly excited and it's just an involuntary motion for him. Like, it's not even like, he doesn't care who or what is going on. He gets too excited. It's an involuntary motion. Like, and you compare that, and you know what's funny, Joey? Comparing yourself to animals. Like, no, guys, being LGBTQ is fine. Look, animals fuck each other.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, animals also like, kill each other and
like let's retrograde into fucking nature instead of evolving into nature. Like these are the same, like, dude, like this Marxism fucking leftist brain rot is like all contradictions. Like, they heavily push the most ridiculous parts of the theory of evolution, but then they also want us to fucking go back to our base frontal lobe primordial instinct forms. Like, it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
There is an extremely well-backed reasoning behind why an animal will fuck anything. Because they horny, bro. I get it.
Well, and then Musically Medicated said, but boy animals don't fuck boy animals. That's actually not true, medically medicated, unfortunately. That does happen.
Did you just say medically medicated?
Musically medically medicated.
I got to go back in. I got
I did
I got to check the tape. Hold on.
I definitely did say that. Boy animals will absolutely fuck boy animals because of what I just said. Right. Dopamine is the reward system for for mammals and various other animals. Stimulation of genitals releases dopamine. Getting dopamine makes you want to do the thing that gave you the dopamine. Yeah, and that's why humans masturbate. Anyway.
No, you said musically medicated.
No, I said medically medicated. You went the wrong...
I heard it. I went back and checked. I went back and listened. You said musically.
I just said it fast.
You said it like you were about to like say, like you were thinking about, should I say medicated or musical, but it sounded more like musical to me. So Tyler did not fuck up on that one.
Either
I
way,
have to correct the record. I got to change the newspaper. I got to reprint it.
Musically said no, Joe. You lied.
No, I trust my ears more than her ears.
Joey trusts his ears more than he trusts me at all. Anyway,
basically.
So wait,
I have an earwax cleaner. I really trust my ears.
Let's listen to the clip from Elliot. Let's hear her.
In terms of how
doesn't even sound like
it's only as in terms of looking at nature as if it's some sort of cis heteropatriarchal structure is absurd, and that this
words?
Gender binary that we've created is nothing but a quaint little myth. And I think her work and this documentary really, really shows that what we have been taught in school in regards to these structures, men being superior, women being inferior, you know, submissive or what have you.
What school is teaching you that?
I don't know.
What school is teaching classrooms of children that men are superior and women are inferior and should be submissive?
You got to stop sharing.
I know, because you could hear yourself. Hang on, we're going to play a little more.
It being this, yes, heterosexual existence is just completely false. And I think what's so wonderful about this documentary is it really illustrates, you know, why that information has been so suppressed, and how important it is for us to all learn about this, and how it's only expansive and you know, exciting, all of this information.
I want to go to the golden.
Okay, I'll stop sharing.
Now
so Joey stops hearing himself.
Now Endel's saying she did say okay. I heard him say like it sounded like mute at first, mute. So then I just like the you sound. Maybe he said mutically medicated or some shit. Maybe combined them. But the second time, that's not true. Medically medicated. Wait, what?
No, they're just fucking with us now.
Whatever.
But
it's not a big deal.
So what Elliot Page is talking about. So they're talking about a documentary that they came out with, or that they're coming out with, called Second Nature, and it basically revolves around the fact that animals do have same sex, like not even relation. You can't call them relationships. They don't have relationships the same way we do, but they are intimate together, I guess, and in some way have relationships depending on how you look at it. But again, we're comparing ourselves to animals when you do this, and we're supposed to rise above. Are we animals? Yes, but we're supposed to rise above animals. And the argument against gay people has never needed a religious argument to it. It literally, all you have to ask yourself is, what are your genitals for? What is their main function? To reproduce. And nature and evolution has provided that it is that it's very pleasurable.
No. What if a woman? No, wrong. What if a woman's infertile, bro? What's the purpose for her? Like, those are the type of arguments they always use.
They always bring out
women
the edge
are infertile,
cases.
so blah, 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 blah. They always bring in the most extreme anomalies.
The edge cases. Well, because people do that with abortion too. You bring up that abortion's wrong, and then they're like, oh, what if an 11-year-old is raped and impregnated? And it's like, great. If I say that that's okay, are you gonna then argue for the other ones, or argue against the other ones? Like, are we just talking about that specific case, or are you just using that case to say that all abortion should be okay? And the answer is they're trying to use it to justify all of them.
So one of the things that the left and Marxists tend to do is they use those. They think of like because it's important to do that. It's important to think about the most.
Important, yeah. It's important to pull out the edge cases where it could be different. I've done this
because the gray areas. It's important to pull out the gray areas because you got to realize that from a legislative standpoint, there's going to be loopholes.
I've done that with immigration and gotten backlash.
There's going to be certain, well, because people don't do nuance well. They get very emotional about issues, and then it's very all or nothing. That's how it works. That's the cycle that we're stuck in. But, it's important. The reason why it's important to think about some of those edge cases is because you will find instances in which it'll be abused. So it's important to know where they are. The problem is the left abuses that sentiment completely. So when they want to inch their way for abortion, they'll say safe, legal, and rare. But really, they're just looking for an excuse to further expand abortion. And that's what they've been doing with the transgender stuff. Including the T in the LGB it's not the fucking same thing. And like everyone pretends like it's the same thing. Yeah, you know what? Humans have had homosexual relations and lesbian relations for the whole fucking human history. I mean, it was spoken about in the fucking Bible for a reason because it's a thing that happened. People give in to the sins of the fucking flesh and pleasure. Animals do the same thing. But you know what fucking is not remotely the same is lopping off your fucking genitals and saying you're the other sex. That's not even remotely the same to I enjoy relations with the same sex sometimes. It's not even the same.
Yeah, it's not even
even in the same fucking ballpark. It's not even the same sport.
I wonder if in this documentary they have evidence that there are animals that will literally change their gender. Because I know I know one for sure. I believe is frogs. There's certain species of frogs that can do that, and then I know that there are some species that can repopulate asexually, but that doesn't involve another partner. So,
I love when they're like, "Oh, my gender's asexual." I was like, "No, that's
I've
sexual
always
preferences,
thought
you fucking idiot."
Look, non-binary makes more sense than being asexual, and neither of them makes sense, to be fair. But when someone has told me that they're asexual, I always laugh at, literally laugh at their face, because
all those gender things are just sexual preferences. Like
I've already explained it. It's person. People confuse their gender with their personality. Is what it is at the end of the day. You can have a very feminine personality, and I don't care.
Yeah, that's what they. But that's sort of the game that they play. This is why like it's important to use the right definitions of words, because what the Marxists, even before they were called the Marxists, because this sort of thinking existed before it was given a name. What they do is they take words that have similar meanings and mush it all together. So then when you needed to find the nuances between the similar meaning words, it's all fucking lost.
And Gilbert has an excellent point. The whole point of the animals that can swap their gender is to even out their population to create more reproduction, but gender swaps on humans prevent reproduction. That's
But you know what, though? Even when you say an argument like that, you got to be careful, because that's why the left, that's why these crazy Dr. Mengele fucking scientists are trying to fucking find a way to artificially implant a fucking fake ass womb into some fucking dude who's going to give birth out of his asshole or some shit. Like, that's why they're trying to do this shit, because they're trying to get you with gotcha moments on every definition you get to skate around their fucking fantasizing. If you skate around their fantasizing, they're going to try to do shit like that and be like, look, we can now change genders and they'll be able to have babies with our little gestation chamber, and then obviously you're not going to be able to give birth through your fake vagina, so we're going to have to C-section you, but look, here's our little fucking factory farm baby. Look, we change our gender to reproduce too.
And Producer K has an excellent point. He says some gay men are saying they're trying to trans all the gay young people, basically genocide. Which actually, Producer, you're saying you put a laughing emoji there, but that's actually true. I actually believe that, because a lot of these young, especially guys, women too, a lot of these, they're in high school, they're not quite adults yet, they're still figuring things out. All of a sudden, they think they're trans, but in reality, they just like the other gender. And what this trans shit teaches people is that you can't like the other gender. It means that you're actually trans, it's so funny. It's like a bunch of fucking backwards gymnastics in order to get around to just being anti-gay at the end of the day. And I know not all trans people end up dating the opposite gender. They still end up being, I don't know, the whole thing's weird. But a lot of these,
a lot of times you see that.
A lot of these gay men that like other dudes get tricked into being trans because they think they need to be a woman to be with a guy.
And it's always funny too, is like these stuck in the loop sort of trans people or gay people, they always do the most stereotypical fucking BS, and then when you get caught stereotyping or generalizing them, they are all up in arms about it. It's like, bro, you decided that you're going to be an ugly butch lesbian. Like, you're just a fucking stereotype. Like, it's not even straight with extra steps. Flaming Producer K is like, Tyler, you forgot I'm a woman.
I know,
because I believe it's true. I mean, it probably is true though, when you think about what the Marxists do. In the short term, they're destroying their enemies, but in the long term, they're destroying the stupid dumb fucks that are being used as their foot soldiers, because they don't like those son of a bitches either. Like, anyone who's studied the rise of Marxism in Europe from the early 1900s to the mid 1900s knows that, like, they don't, like, they're just using them as pawns until, it's like a temporary alliance sort of thing. It's like, but the people that they're using as their foot soldiers think that they're going to be given some sort of paradise. No. When it's time, when their enemy is destroyed, then they're going to just find reasons to further come at and destroy people that were once their foot soldiers, because it's never enough. if you don't do the immediate thing right now, all of that cachet you fucking built throughout the years doesn't mean a fucking thing. A fucking thing.
A fucking thing.
Look, Tyler, we could talk about Conor McGregor exploding his knee after his first literal strike.
I know nothing about.
He's going to be the future prime minister of Ireland, so it's important to talk about this. But he literally broke his leg 5 years ago, like snapped it. It snapped in half. Someone checked the kick, and then his leg snapped. He rehabbed the injury, and the first strike he threw at the event was a jumping kick with that broken leg that he's trying to prove that he could still use his leg. And then he came down on his other leg and tore his knee. This is the second time he tore his ACL against the same opponent, by the way. He fought Max Holloway like 12 or 13 years ago.
We have the video.
Yeah, here we go. Boom. Tore his shit. And then he kept falling because his shit is gone.
Yeah, because his leg's out. Yeah, you can see he landed
you saw
wrong.
That little skip. You saw that skip
wrong.
right there. So one thing that happened
here.
One thing that happens when guys break their legs like that is they don't trust their legs the same. So he wanted to prove, because he's Conor McGregor, I'm not afraid to throw the most craziest kick.
On it after that.
He can't even stand on it. Yeah, he probably tore his ACL. He blew his knee out.
You know, it's funny. Who was it? There was some big famous dude that fucking put $1 million on Gregor winning.
Yeah, and then there was somebody who at the last minute put like 900,000 on Max winning. That dude was probably fucking running through the streets naked or some shit.
Yeah, he saw Gregor tore his leg up, and he's like, "Oh yeah, done."
He's like, "Fuck yeah!" And I love Max Holloway in the post-fight interview. He was like, "Let's do it again." Oh yeah, I bet you want that fucking paycheck to do nothing again, bro. I fucking is Conor in the same hospital with McConnell? Conor, he's when the fight was in Vegas. Where would Mitch McConnell be in fucking Kentucky or whatever the fuck?
Says McGregor appeared to suffer an injury to his right knee in the opening seconds of his welterweight bout against Holloway on Saturday in Las Vegas. No, they're in Vegas.
Yeah.
McGregor, who is making his first appearance in 5 years, has not disclosed the exact diagnosis of his injury, but he announced that he intends to undergo surgery and return for the final fight of his UFC contract.
Yeah,
I hope that's not for another year or two, because
well, then he's gonna be 40.
I know, but like that late, like you don't just that's not gonna be good in like 6 months. I don't think.
No, it's gonna take him probably
like 8 months to a year.
I would imagine next July is when he'll probably fight. He'll probably fight in the same, like, cause they call it International Fight Week during their pay-per-view in July. So he'll probably be fighting on that one. I can guess who the opponent should be, but I don't know what they will do. It's his last fight. He's probably going to do like celebrity boxing after this. So we're going to see Conor McGregor get fucking washed by Jake Paul at some point in the future. We really need to locate someone willing to spy in the hospital that McConnell's in. Conor just fucking retire. He really should retire, and he should answer the calling and be the hero for the Irish people right now.
Yeah, guys, I haven't done a lot of reporting on that, but there's been some shit going on in Ireland. Maybe I should pull some stuff up from that.
Yeah, he should really be like, he's not needed for fighting. He's made more than enough money that he could possibly spend on hookers and coke. It's time to be a hero for your country, bro. Be a hero for your fucking country. Like, you could still be a fighter, bro. Be a fighter for the Irish people, because he has the celebrity name. He has the general love of the Irish people. Like, he's a very flawed character, don't get me wrong, but like, you got to understand, when you're electing leaders for your country, you're not electing friends. You're electing people that you know are going to be able to do the things that the average person doesn't have the will to do. He's going to fight one more time, though, and I get it. He's not going to want to go out on an injury. They should have him fight Nate Diaz again. Ireland is not playing anymore. Listen, we need more. Europe needs to. It's now or never for Europe, bro. It's now or never for Europe.
What's to know about the stabbing that set off fiery riots in Northern Ireland? So,
fiery but peaceful.
Yeah, Ireland has been going crazy, guys. If you haven't seen what's been going on in Ireland, people are referring to these as race riots because it's a bunch of native Irish people going around, and they want the immigrants out. They're sick of it. They keep getting attacked like this. There was a recent attack on I think it was a disabled man whose job it was to help these people get into the country and integrate into Ireland, and he was nearly beheaded by one of these immigrants in the street.
Jeez Louise.
Let's see. This is London, though, so this is not even Ireland.
It doesn't matter, though. It's the UK, it's the greater Europe. They're all having the same fucking problem.
Yeah.
Germany, France, like they're all having the same fucking problem. It's a little bit more magnified, I think, in the UK because, you know, they speak English. In Ireland, they mostly speak English. So it's like it's easier to communicate what's going on, I suppose. But like, you know, I guess if something happens in like Germany, there might be like a mistranslation or some shit. I don't know. But, you know, we can easily communicate with people without needing to have translations in the UK. So it's probably easier to sort of look at what's happening there and make determinations about it. But just look at the demographics of the fucking UK, bro. It's insane, those demographics. It's almost like once they took their guns away, once they gave up their guns, they just started to flood them with basically non-native people. And they just accept it. For far too long, they accepted it. Like, that's the thing about like when the government overreaches like that. Like, I hate to sound like a fucking leftist, and I know it's gonna sound like that to some of you guys, but like when they said like riots are the language of the unheard, like that's not entirely false. Like if you're electing people and they're not representing you, and if this happens multiple times, if you have like local neighborhood stuff where the will of the people is being subverted by a local politician, what else are you supposed to do? Keep doing the same thing and beating your head against the wall? Like, you got to let them know that we're not going to fucking take this shit anymore. So I know the left's line for rioting, they muddy those waters because they just say everything is illegitimate and bad. But, you know, we have more standards in that. There has to be some point to where it's like, well, this isn't happening. We have to let them know that they're fucking with us, bro. Like, you got to stop. That's all that the establishment needs to do is just like take their foot off the pedal a little bit and people would go back to sleep. But they won't do that. You know why? Because they're evil.
Check my X. I was tagged. What was I tagged?
Check your X. I was
Check
tagged.
your X.
Check your X. I was tagged. Check your X. I was tagged.
X. I got tagged.
We just made a hit rap song.
You always got to start dropping some of these songs.
Dude, I have no motivation to do music right now. I'm trying so hard to find it. If
Elon Musk would have never bought X, nobody would know what is actually happening in Ireland. America stands with the Irish people. Take back your country. And a bunch of people marching through the streets.
The Elon Musk angle is a crazy one though, because you know that like once or if ever that that this enemy gets defeated, like he's not exactly going to be an ally, but you can't deny how seismic it was for him to buy Twitter. Like it changed everything. Like that probably changed things even more so like than Donald Trump getting reelected. Donald Trump was only able to get reelected because there was actually Twitter has always been like the most popular of these social media apps, and it got bought by someone who was just freshly woken up from all this bullshit. Like that was, and then you got a bunch of people that were banned on X that came back. Like that's an irreversible resource that they can't fight against. They can't fight against it because Twitter is ingrained in culture. And yes, you had some fucking Fruit Loops leave to Blue Sky and Threads after he bought it, but the majority of people are still on Twitter. So it is
Threads and Blue Sky don't have nearly the following that X has.
And honestly, Threads and Blue Sky are more of an echo chamber than any sort of Truth Social or Gab or whatever that thing Candace Owens, I keep forgetting the name of it. What Parlor? Those are more echo chambery than even those sites ever were, because what you got on those sites is basically what you get on Rumble. You get a bunch of political exiles. And as I seen on my time on Rumble, there's a lot of people that believe a lot of different things. There's a lot of, it's not just like far right, you know, this, that, like there's a lot of live and let live sort of aspects on Rumble. So like when you get those sort of, we're banning everybody that slightly disagrees with anything, you're going to get a lot of those political miscasts, and it's not going to just be far right people. The left's going to categorize them as far right, but that's not what they actually are, because the left doesn't care about proper categorization. you mind if I eat a protein bar? I gotta eat something.
Yeah, go for it. You can.
They're leaving Blue Sky and coming back to X. Yeah, because Blue Sky is a dog whistle for pedophilia.
I was trying to look for a specific meme that would go with the immigrant stuff. Okay. Trying to find it. I know it's on Twitter, but I can't seem to find it. All right. Well, it was basically a specific meme where the people that are pro-immigration from a lot of different countries, they basically believe they have this ideology, right? They have this ideology where they think that there should be world peace and free healthcare for everyone. And they think that everyone in the world wants that. They project their beliefs onto other people. So when they are like open borders, free shit for everyone, welfare, let everyone in, they're assuming that the people coming over hold that same view where they're like, yeah, free healthcare for me, free healthcare for you, free healthcare for everybody. But the people coming over are like, oh, you're offering free shit? Cool. I'll take it. And they're not actually, they don't want to contribute. They're not gonna offer you the free shit. They will never offer you the free shit. They're just coming over to get all our free shit. And but the people that are for open borders and stuff don't seem to get that. They don't seem to get that giving free stuff to people doesn't just come from nowhere. It has to come from somewhere. And if there's too many people over here getting free stuff from us, that free stuff has to come from somewhere. And eventually it's going to come. Eventually you'll start noticing. Eventually you're going to be like, why are my groceries so expensive? Why can't I afford a house? Why is gas so expensive? You know what would help with gas prices right now? If we got rid of about 20 million illegals. That'd be 20 million less people in the country driving around. Just saying. Joey, just think about this, right, Joey? Immigration, again, one of the biggest fucking issues anywhere in the world, especially for the United States. Would gas prices go up or down should we remove 20 million people from the country?
It would go down.
It would go down because supply would the demand would meet supply, right?
Yeah, rent would go down too.
Rent, house prices,
because these fucking immigrants are living somewhere.
Yeah, like all of this shit would go down. But people hear this stuff and they're like, "What are you talking about? Immigrants pay taxes. They contribute to the system. Yada yada yada." Yeah, they might contribute a little bit here and there, but they're also they're taking a lot from the system, just like the rest of us.
That's another thing the left has done. You hear leftists talk. There is no distinction between immigration and illegal immigration for them. It doesn't exist.
It doesn't.
So they shape everything. And again, this is the drive-by news listeners, the normies. They shape everything like it's the Republicans are just anti-immigration. Which, listen, there's a lot of them that are anti-immigration, but it's gotten so far. The overturn window has gone so far to the left on the immigration issue that it almost requires an extreme right solution to bring the balance back. Because most people are fine with high skilled immigrants that have an IQ above 95, but what they're not fine with is being overloaded with shit, because that's what the left does. Is they give you the gray area reasons, and then they start to just give you all the fucking blue and green area reasons too, even though they just wanted the gray area reasons. But you give them a foot in the door and that's enough. So I'm sorry for there probably does have to be some like immigration moratorium or some shit, but
there would have to be.
Most people, but you know why you're not going to get that? I'll tell you why you're not going to get that. And for people that are in politics and they don't care about sports, you're not going to get it because Donald Trump will not do that. He will not make it so that these sports leagues can't sign the best sports players. But that's what makes sense from an immigration standpoint is like, okay, well, these athletes from Japan for baseball are, really good. So that means they can get signed. But like if you sign
stuff like that should be different. That should be different. That should be what immigration is for. We should see a country that has people better than ours in an area and be like, hey, we want some of those people. That's exactly what immigration should be about. It should be like, oh, you guys are better than us in this area? We want those people over here. Like, that's exactly what immigration should be. But instead, the immigration we get, and what I was saying while you went to go get your snack, is that Democrats, or it's not even Democrats, but just pro-immigration people have this weird worldview where they think people just want free shit and want to give people free shit, and if they want this, then everyone else must want it too. So then they let all these people into the country thinking, I want free healthcare for them, they want free healthcare for me, when in reality these people come over here and they're like, oh, you want to give us free shit? Great, we'll take it. And that's it, ends there. If they go to work and they buy shit and it contributes to taxes, big fucking whoop. They're still taking up think about this. They're taking up a slot at every red light. They're taking up a slot in the line at your grocery store with all those groceries, taking food off the shelves. They're taking up a slot at the gas station. All of these things are taking from the supply and adding to the demand.
You need to rush your grandpa to the emergency room? Sorry, Pablo's there.
Yeah, sorry, Pablo was there first, and he got a sprained ankle. How? I don't know. He shouldn't even fucking be here.
He got a sprained ankle from jumping over a fence.
He hopped the fence, and sorry, your grandpa might be dying, but we gotta let the illegals in first.
He landed on the other side of the fence, and he's like, oh, mijo, my leg hurt, man, and they have to rush him to the hospital.
And don't worry, all of their bills will not be paid. We'll foot it.
Because you think they're paying their fucking bills, bro? Like, I know Americans that go to the hospital and don't pay their fucking bills. You bet your ass those illegals ain't paying them.
Yeah, of course they're not. And they'll use our emergency rooms like a normal doctor visit because they can't go get a normal doctor. And we just allow it. Because what are we gonna do? Just deny someone health care? You know, we're not some third world backwards piece of shit country. We're gonna help these people. But my point is, they shouldn't be here to even try and get the help.
We allow it though because a lot of times the right lets the left monopolize spaces and they control the debate.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, people on the right, Republicans, conservatives, right-leaning libertarians, or even slightly left-leaning libertarians, what you have to realize is you're never going to be left alone. You have to communicate with people consistently. You can't just like sit on your hands and go, well, Donald Trump won a second time, everything's all right. It's never going to be all right. It's a constant fight, and you're never going to be left alone. You think these fucking psychopathic sociopaths are ever going to leave you alone? They're not going to ever leave you alone. They just will never leave you alone. It's a constant battle. You have to be in communication with people on your team. That's just what it is. It seems like a little bit of a contradiction, right? The Republicans just want to be left alone. The irony is they have to be a little bit more mobilized like the left in order
more
to proactive be able to achieve
making
that.
Sure you're left alone.
Like the issue is people on the right wait till it's at their doorstep. People on the left wait till it's at their neighbor's doorstep. Like that's when they start to get militant. So we could talk about the left and their ideologies and what they believe in and how it's bad. But the signals on when to start communicating and being proactive, they're actually correct on. And the right needs to get better at that desperately.
Yeah,
desperately, because a lot of the times there will be an issue, and like I'm not gonna like harp on like the WNBA or anything because nobody really cares about the WNBA, but like there is a overarching issue of two-tiered system happening in Europe and the United States as far as like racial things. Like girls on the bench can call Caitlin Clark white girl, but if she calls them black girls, she's gonna get in trouble. So like there is things happening in the overarching sports world, media world, where girls are just like straight up being racist towards her. And like, I see a lot of like people on the right going like, who cares? Nobody cares about the WNBA. I'm like, it's literally an issue that is literally like happening to normal people in the country. And now there's a high profile issue of it happening on a larger scale. Like those are the types of issues that Republicans need to show their face on, because this is part of the culture war. Sports is a part of our culture. The racial injustice is happening on smaller scales to people that will never have a voice and nobody will ever hear them. So when I hear people go, well, it's a WNBA, who cares? I was like, well, I feel bad for the random woman that gets raped in a local town that doesn't get reported on because nobody reported on it. Who cares? Like if there's issues that can bring more light to something that's happening in the overarching world, like Republicans need to get in there and start fucking caring about this shit, because they just let the left monopolize it. These people who have influence and say and power and some weight to move, they don't feel like there's anything for them to bounce back on. So they always fucking bow down to the left because the right's never anywhere to be found.
And we see that a lot with this time around, right? People like to point out Trump might be pushing his agenda, but the Senate isn't solidifying any of it, which is a perfectly valid argument. But this is what the Republicans always do, right? I'm only 25. I can only pay attention to politics for so long. But just in the time that I've paid attention, when Republicans get power, they talk a big game and then they don't do shit. Democrats, they tell you a little bit about what they're gonna do, but they do it. And they go way further with it. So Democrats are way scarier because when they say something, they're not telling you all of it, and they're gonna try it. But Republicans, they tell you in detail what they're gonna do, and then none of it happens. And it's like, are you fucking serious?
Yeah, Republicans are great at telling you the problem, and then when they fucking, that's it. And what I love is when they'll campaign in like Harlem or like the Bronx, they'll tell the problem. And when I was at the Trump rally in the Bronx back in 2024, I was all the way in the back, so I was with the normal people, quote unquote. And a lot of them were nodding their head to the things he was saying. But at the end of the day, it's just like you can point out the problems of the left, but when your solution is basically, I'm going to take away all the free shit they're giving you, like nobody's going to vote for you. So like there has to be some sort of solution that they can come up with to actually be proactive in some of these communities where they're like, look what the left has done to you. And then they're like, okay, well, what are you going to do for us? Just
Nothing.
Point out what the left has done to you.
Yeah,
that's all they're going to do.
We're not going to do anything. We're not going to remove
we need
taxes
to remove
or anything.
Thune. The globalists own him. You know what the thing I hate the most about Thune, though, the situation is, and I don't want to harp on this again, but like Donald Trump put a lot of pressure on everybody to push Thune through as quickly as possible when everybody already knew he was owned by the globalists. Motherfuckers knew this shit already, but Donald Trump wanted to push him in to make it seem like that we had a unified front and nothing was holding us back. And he did that. He was very short-term thinking with that.
I agree.
He's the reason why Thune and Mike Johnson are in the places that they're in, and they're not proactive at all. Mike Johnson, whenever he gets his little media clips, likes to look like he says the right things, but you need to be making sure these guys are constantly in Congress doing their work, bro. But they're never there. They're always on vacation. They work at a snail's pace, like they're actually fucking important. The entire Senate is not.
Yeah. Well, they keep going on recess. That's one of the things I keep complaining about. They could force votes on all these different things. Like, why is Congress moving so slow? And don't get me wrong, it's not always a good thing when they move quick, but they're moving insanely slow. And
because
they're
trying to stall to the midterms. They're trying to
and
stall
then they
to
lie
the
to
midterms.
they lie to the base about the SAVE Act. You have so many senators and congressmen right now telling their base that, guys, we can't get the SAVE Act passed, but you know what we can get passed? Removing the filibuster. Merging the military, removing the filibuster. And it's like, no, none of that's easier. None of that's actually easier. You're just making it easier.
You know what I love about Congress, too, is they'll talk about how we need to have these omnibus bills and shit because we don't have enough time to, individually vote. It's like, yeah, because you guys are never fucking there to do your job. You're public servants, for fuck's sake.
Take a recess
They're supposed
every
to be
other
public
week.
servants. They're public servants. They're not supposed to be the pseudo-celebrity lifestyle. They are literally celebrities. It's like the Hunger Games. They're treated as like the ruling class. They're the bourgeoisie. They are the nobles. That's not how it's supposed to be. That was the system that the founding fathers wanted to disconnect from.
The average congressman works 172 days a year and makes almost $200,000, not counting insider trading. And even then, there's congressmen that say that's not enough.
Well,
they need to work less and get paid more. They already work less than us, and they make 4 times the average income of an American. And it's not counting all the money they get paid from these foreign governments.
It's not enough for what? Why? Because they want to go to the fucking a baseball game sitting front row instead of doing their jobs? Like, what the fuck is their jobs? Their jobs are to put shit on the floor, have debates, and vote. It's just
and they won't fucking do it.
But it's like the fucking Supreme Court, too. How long does it take for them to debate some of these things? Me, Tyler, and Nora can get up here and fucking find common ground.
Like, come on.
Hash shit out in 2-hour shows, and these fucking old relics are just, what are they doing? I want cameras on 24/7. You know what I want? If you get elected as a politician, you are required, because you're a public servant, your rights are irrelevant. You're a public servant. I want cameras on them at all points. I want cameras on them all the fucking time, except when they're taking a shit or a shower.
It's got to be like this, Joey. It's got to be like the average paragraph, right? Average paragraph is what, 3 to 5 sentences. That's your bill. Your bill should be one paragraph. It gets posted in a projector on the back of the fucking wall of Congress, and everyone debates it. And it should be live streamed. Like, that would be so much more like, you guys think Alex Jones, Tim Pool, Stephen Kraft, all these shit's entertaining? Imagine how entertaining it would be to watch a room full of fucking man children that don't do any real work all day.
But then, you know what? They'll
and
complain.
Then they sit there and debate.
They'll complain about their fucking privacy and their rights, but then they'll pass fucking bills that completely rape your rights. They don't give a shit. They don't give a shit. No. You know what a good government is? A good government is a body of people that represent people that will allow themselves to be inconvenienced instead of the people being inconvenienced. That's how it should be. Once that line is fucking broken, then the government is hijacked. That's how it needs to be. These government systems, these supposed government programs that are supposed to help people, this shit like that, if it's done and it makes people's lives even more inconvenient, then the government is way too fucking out of pocket. The government needs to be inconvenienced for the sake of the people, especially if they want to have extra power, then they ought to fucking be inconvenienced for the sake of the people. You know what I mean? Like, that's how the balance needs to go. Like, you guys want to live this pseudo celebrity lifestyle? Well, you need to be inconvenienced more than we need to be.
I want to pull up one more story because you're doing your show in like 15 minutes, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're going to do a bit of a shift because I do want to cover this. This is an important story. I don't know if you had actually seen this or not. Let's pull this up. So we have this story from The Guardian. There's a few different outlets reporting on it. Obviously, depending on which outlet you're going to read, you're going to get a different story because Israel's involved, and a lot of these outlets are bought by Israel. Even my favorite news outlet, New York Post, they're definitely a little bit bought and paid for by Israel. But unfortunately. But anyway, Ro Khanna, and a lot of people are going to say, haha, good, this is what happened, and then they're going to make excuses for the Israeli government just because he's a Democrat. But, guys, that's not fair. Ro Khanna went there as a U.S. congressman. It's not like they didn't know he was there. It's literally impossible for a U.S. congressman to show up in Israel and for them not to know where he is. He went to go and look at these different areas in the West Bank, and he was trying to go look around and see what Israel's been doing to these people. What happened is U.S. congressman says that he was detained by armed Israeli settlers that they were armed with U.S.-made weapons, and they were in the occupied territory of the West Bank. And Ro Khanna is also claiming that the IDF that was there refused to intervene for at least a little while. They just kind of just stood there.
And this goes back to that standard I was talking about before about celebrating death. It's not the same thing, but because it's somebody that the right doesn't like, they'll be all, good riddance for being stopped by or detained or whatever. Like, good riddance.
He was detained on Shabbat. They don't drive on Shabbat. Well, too fucking bad. He's not Israeli.
Right. That's like when I used to go to the hospital. They would not let me use the microwave on Saturday. I'm like, bro, I'm not fucking Jewish.
Yeah, I'm not. Fuck you. I'm not Jewish. Yeah.
I would ask the nurse, fucking Asian nurse, can you heat this? Oh no, they don't let us use it. It's like, ma'am, are you Jewish? No. Well, fuck them then.
Yeah, like what? I don't care. Their religious beliefs are bullshit anyway. If they want to follow them, I don't care. They could do that. I'm not going to.
That's why I thought it was suspicious because no cars are on the road or some shit.
Why they thought it was he was suspicious. That's why they thought he was suspicious. Not giving an excuse, just explaining what they did. Yeah, but again, they're gonna.
Yeah, but Israel says they claim that they're open to non-Jewish people being in Israel, right? Like that's always the argument we're given is like we're not welcome in the Muslim countries, but we're welcome in Israel. but apparently not.
Wait, what kind of shit is Shabbat? I don't know anything about Shabbat. So they're allowed to have AK-47s on Shabbat, but they can't.
Yeah, right. No, that's different, Tyler. That's different. That's a different sort of automated machine.
Pointing an automatic machine gun at a person driving a car is completely different than driving the car itself. Okay.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Are you operating machinery? No. Guns aren't machinery. They're weapons. Like,
sorry.
okay.
U.S. made M4s, not AKs. AKs are not American made. I don't think anyway. They're Russian.
Yeah,
right?
very, very different. Very good distinction there, Tyler.
About that.
Kept your journalistic integrity with that one.
Journalistic integrity. I agree. It's a religious day of the week. It's actually our Sunday.
The Sabbath.
Okay. They didn't coordinate with anyone before they went there. Not too smart. Yeah,
well,
but they
smart,
claim the
so.
West Bank is. They claim the West Bank's not occupied. They claim that it's just open and free to enter. That's what Israel claims. It's not like he went to. He's not talking about. We're not talking about him going to Palestine. He didn't go to Palestine. He went to the West Bank, which Israel has repeatedly claimed is free and open. So he shouldn't have to coordinate.
I want a Shabbat M4.
Shabbat. Let's get the Shabbat M4s, please.
Is it kosher?
The kosher M4s, yes. So
actually, the K in AK stands for kosher. It says always kosher 47.
Get every news
Donald Trump 47. Always kosher 47. Oh shit.
Yeah, see, that's the other thing too, right? Producer K, all these news outlets are reporting these people as settlers. Yeah, where are they settling? In occupied territory. Like, it's just kind of funny that they say it's not occupied territory, and then they're like, no, it is occupied territory. They like to go back and forth on it. But in an interview with Reuters on Thursday from a Palestinian village, the progressive U.S. House Democrat from California said his detention happened the previous day while his delegation visited an area of the southern West Bank and has experienced repeated attacks by Israeli settlers. Kana recounted how settlers carrying U.S.-made M4 rifles surrounded the group's van. Quote, "We were at a village that Israeli settlers had destroyed. They had destroyed the school. They had destroyed that village, and we were just looking at it." Referring to the Israeli Defense Force, which are funded in part by U.S. military aid. Yeah, we're about to fully fund them bitches, too. Quote, "And these hoodlums detain us. They block off the road, and then they call the IDF, and the IDF is on their side, not on the side of the Americans." Well, yeah, of course they're not going to be on the side of the Americans. They think we're trash. We're useful idiots to them. Kana also told Reuters, quote, "I saw the arrogance in the eyes of those settlers, 21, 22-year-olds with guns, laughing that they had detained us. The arrogance of those young IDF soldiers that my tax dollars are funding, having no respect for the fact that they were detaining Americans, no respect that there was an American congressperson on that bus, and laughing when our translator told them that there are Americans there and the American embassy is concerned." Kana aide Cameron Kasky wrote on X that he was there when the congressman's group was detained, saying the IDF showed up to back up the settlers, not the U.S. congressman. Kana added that the encounter illustrated the arrogance of power, of a power that has no accountability, total impunity, and it's created a toxic culture of oppression. I mean, this doesn't surprise me. Here's a picture. So literally just random fucking civilians. Imagine this. Look, guys, like, just think about this in the reverse, right? A politician from Israel shows up to the United States and wants to go to the border of Mexico, and on the way of the border to the Mexico, a group of white redneck fucking Americans detain him with 12 gauges and shit. How the fuck would that look?
What you doing here, brother?
Yeah, how the fuck would that look? Like,
it would be a white pill for me.
That's what this right. It'd be a white pill, but that's what this is.
You're like, finally, people are policing their own communities. You know what?
No,
honestly, that's what needs.
No law enforcement, no military, no nothing. They just fucking show up and detain a congressperson, and we're supposed to be like, oh, they didn't coordinate. Who gives a fuck if they coordinate? I don't give a fuck if they coordinate or not. This is a random motherfucking civilian detaining a U.S. congressperson. That's insane. And I don't care if
Could you imagine if a United States citizen detained a United States politician?
Period.
Forget a foreign person coming over. Could you? Because like, it's supposedly they were headed into a war zone. Yeah, I mean, he was trying to prove a point. That's what he was trying to do. You know, some people got to get.
Though, producer, is prove that it is in fact a war zone when they claim it's not.
When they say it's a neutral zone, but it's not a neutral zone.
The West Bank is not a neutral zone. They're actively settling people there and taking out people from their homes.
What needs to, what needs to be sort of when you think about these politicians, Ro Khanna is a perfect example because of the collaborations he did with Thomas Massey, but. All politicians have some sort of agenda that they're working for, right? Everyone, it's a chess game. Everyone's trying to make certain plays. So just because someone is making a play that you know that their goal, their end game is something else, it doesn't mean that in the time being you can't utilize what they're doing and bank on the fact that your goals are going to win over theirs. But if they're going to give you an aligning goal, you have to take it. I think a lot of times I see when it comes from the left and the right is once someone on the left, like a Ro Khanna, agrees with something that someone on the right, like a Thomas Massey, agrees with, they start to like go, oh no, well, this crazy leftist believes in something that I believe in. Am I wrong? No, multiple things can be true at once. And you see that with the radical left. They hate Israel because of power imbalances. And the far right hates Israel because it's a foreign government that's essentially manipulating us to stay at forever wars. So it's the same feeling. It's just different reasons. So people need to start to really get better at critically analyzing that instead of just going, well, this politician that is really freaking gay likes this thing. Yeah, I like this thing too. Am I wrong for liking this thing? No, things can be liked for multiple reasons. Tyler, I like, you know, he introduced me to Repo, and it's like he barely plays with us anymore. It's like we both liked Repo, but like now it's like we like it for different reasons now. It's like, oh, it was like Joe, this game is great for clips, but now we use it as a hangout game, basically. So it's like
I will be hanging out more on Wednesdays though. Starting this Wednesday.
Similar sentiment. Different reasons. Like it can happen. It's allowed to be. You are allowed to believe something that a fucking crazy leftist believes. It doesn't mean you're a leftist. It means that there's an issue that you align on for different reasons. It's possible. You know, it's a great hangout game. What, Warframe? I keep telling him to ask you to play it.
Asshole. Yeah, no, he keeps coming and asking me. He's like, what got you banned again? I got banned on Warframe for saying faggot.
And now he's banned on... No.
Banned on YouTube.
Oh, well. Yeah,
whatever.
Goodbye to those YouTube bucks. That would have been a perfect time to just end the stream. I do have to use the bathroom, so...
Yeah, no, go use the bathroom and start your show. I'm going to play some music and do my outro, whatever. Tell the people where to find you.
Find me on... Wait, you don't have the stream bot set up, so I can't do that. You find me on my channel here. Just click on my picture and hit the follow button. We'll be starting Outworld Live in a couple of minutes. Rebel, if you're in the audience, I sent you a message on Discord. I don't know if you're ready or not ready, but if not, then I'm perfectly capable of doing solo. So yeah, I'll be there. Well, we're going to talk about you already follow both of us. Well, hit unfollow and then hit follow again. I'm kidding. We're gonna, you see my beautiful sports games that I upload because I'm like, I play these old games anyway. I might as well record them and upload them. You don't know, you don't understand. I've got a lot of followers just from my random retro sports uploads. It's hilarious. Like every morning I'll wake up to someone commenting on my sports videos and also following me. So it's actually been kind of beneficial. Though, if they watch the rest of my content, it's not going to be retro sports games.
That's fine, though, because we've talked about this. You're contributing to Rumble's building library.
Yeah.
So
I've been thinking about doing So there's this one game series that I've played through, but I want to play through again. But I'm thinking about recording them as like parts, like episodes, because I think it would be better to record them as episodes than live streaming it, because it's a Japanese game. And it's a lot of cutscenes and subtitles, and I just don't know if that'd be a good game to live stream. But like uploading like individual like 25-minute episodes to make it seem like a TV show, I've been thinking about doing that, because those are the types of videos on YouTube that like 6 years after you upload the video, you check the video and it has like 12 million views on it. So I've been thinking about doing that for the Yakuza games. But I'm going to go duck out here and use the bathroom. And then I'm going to start my show. I'm just going to like leave it there live with the screen thingy. So yeah, see you guys.
All right,
Thank you for having me on T-Sizzle.
Yep. Thanks to Joey. And we'll see him in the
and don't
next
forget,
time.
I'm doing my main event Monday gaming at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time, where I will continue to make hilarious, funny things happen inside of Ogway's Legacy, mate. A little bit Ogway's Legacy, mate.
We're gonna raid out to Joey, and then Joey, I believe you have a special episode on Wednesday, right?
I do. I'm having Peter. I can't say his last name, but tune in for Rebel because she can say his last name. So Peter Quininos or some shit. Like it's such a like. You get the N and then another O and then an N following the O, and I'm like fucking like it's just messing with my whiteness. My whiteness can't pronounce this. It doesn't matter. We're gonna have a special political guest on. He's like a former. Bryce actually got. And what's funny is the two big political guests that I've had on are because Bryce asked them to come on. So just because you don't do a show or whatever, you could ask people if they want to come on me or Tyler's show, and they might just say yes because Bryce he got Michael Rechtenwald. He was able to get us Michael Rechtenwald, Bryce, and now he got us Peter Quininos. Or I don't know. Rebel will say the name right.
Yeah,
I won't, but
it's
anyway.
like Quinones.
Yeah, I know. It's see, I'm not the only one struggling here. Like Rebel's like, I watched the show.
I'm terrible with names anyway, so that's not
no, because
fair.
like Rebel's like, I watched a few of his shows to hear him say his own name, and she's like, even then, I'm still not sure. So we'll figure it out. Maybe that'll be.
Endel said it. Quininos.
Quininos? Okay. Well, maybe that'll be our icebreaker on Wednesday. As I'll ask him, what the fuck do I say your name, bro?
Yeah, what's the correct pronunciation here? Just
so what up, Peter? How do you say your name?
What's the pronunciation on that one?
I'd be like, I'm just a simple low IQ'd white boy. How do I say your name?
All right. Anyway, Joey's got to start his show. Get out of here, Joey. We're gonna be raiding out to the cannoli over here. So you guys have a good one. I'm gonna play some music if you want to stick around for that. But Joey's going to go start his show. So you guys head on over there. I appreciate everyone hanging out today. Thank you again to Jeff D from Thoughtcast. Guys, you should go follow Jeff D if you're not already. I know a lot of you in the chat are from Jeff. Let's see, Jeff D for Thoughtcast with Jeff D. There we go. Guys, go follow Thoughtcast with Jeff D if you're not already. Thank you again, Jeff, for the raid. Much appreciated, my good sir. I hope all of you have a fantastic rest of your day. I will be back with news on Wednesday. We're going to be doing a new schedule. I will probably be streaming some video games tomorrow, so if you're interested in video games, tune in for that. We'll be playing Grand Theft Auto tomorrow. They're having a new update. Grand Theft Auto 5 online. Yes, they're still updating it. So I'm going to check that out tomorrow. That'll be interesting. And then, yeah, today, nothing else going on today. And I'll see you guys Wednesday. I'll be streaming all day Wednesday. I'll be on with Joey, I believe, and his special guest. So make sure you guys check that out. But anyway, I'll leave you guys with Joey Cannoli. He'll be live in just a moment. And I will also leave you guys with some music. Here's a personal favorite of mine, and I know a lot of people in the audience also like this one. Please enjoy Shadows in the Capitol. Have a good one, guys.
The suits sit high while the streets sing low, counting gold in the towers, letting fires grow. I hear whispers in alleys, truths they don't show. It's all smoke, no mirrors, just a puppet show.
They sign the papers, inked with lies, while we're left with broken skies. They take the bread and leave us the crust in this machine. Who can we trust? Shadows in the Capitol, the power's all a game. They point their fingers, but we know who's to blame. Whispers in the corridors, screaming through the shade. Shadows in the Capitol, nothing feels the same.
The ballots feel like broken dice, they play their games, we pay the price. Promises painted in black and white, but they vanish like thieves in the dead of night.
Lies written with invisible ink, pouring poison in the water we drink. They build their walls, we feel the squeeze. Freedom's just a word on a broken marquee.
Shadows in the Capitol, the power's all a game. They point their fingers, but we know who's to blame. Whispers in the corridor,
nothing feels the same. Where do we go when the truth's been sold?
When the streets run cold and the lies get old.
Where do we go when the truth's been sold?
When the streets run cold and the lies get old.
Where do we go when the truth's been sold?
When the streets run cold and the lies get old.
Shadows in the Capitol, the power's all a game. They point their fingers, but we know who's to blame. Whispers in the corridors, screaming through the shade. Shadows in the Capitol, nothing feels the same.